Let me see if we are good to go in here. We should be good. We should be back in the building. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. Let me double check and make sure we are all set to go. Oh yeah, we're looking good up in here, looking all crispy and clean on the screen. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the ClassE Morning Show in the afternoon. Again, I'm glad y'all are here, man. It's dope to see y'all on the show. We got a lot going into the show today, a lot to cover. We've got crazy indictments coming out again by this Department of Justice. John Bolton, if you don't know who it is, we're going to talk about it. We've got the Tyler Perry lawsuit. We've got the Tyler Perry victim, alleged victim, is going to speak out in the interview. I mean, it's so much to cover today, and y'all know, of course, lately we've been doubling down on what's been going on with Letitia James, so look out for that. But before I get into it, I have to thank everybody who's in the building. Shout out to my awesome, amazing Amy for being in here and reminding y'all to like the video on your way in if you haven't yet. I don't ask for much on this show, but if y'all could, please make sure you like the video on your way in. Not only is it free, it helps the channel continue to grow, lets the algorithm know y'all are enjoying the show, and it shares the video, the channel, and this live stream with more people. Hopefully everybody's doing great on this Friday as well. I know it's going to be a great day, a great weekend. Some of y'all are on fall break, getting to spend more time with the family. I know I've enjoyed it as well. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the show. Like I said, the only thing I ask is that y'all like the video. If you're feeling extra generous, you can share the video as well. All you have to do is click the link that says share, and it's also got an arrow next to it, curved and pointing to the right, and that allows you to share it to Facebook, Instagram, X. You can even share it to your group chat, and you can share it via text as well. So thank you to everyone who does that. And I also will be reading super chats as we go throughout the show, so big shout out and thank you to everyone who goes the extra mile and sends in super chats and helps keep the lights on here on the ClassE Morning Show. All right, I appreciate y'all again for being in here. Thank you so much to everybody who supports. Shout out to, oh, I'm gonna mess up your name. Shout out to Ips in here saying good afternoon. Good to see you in the building as well. And again, I'm not gonna waste any time because we've got a lot to cover. So we are going to go ahead and get right into it. All right. So we've been talking about what's been going on during this government shutdown. The government shut down, but the president of the United States and the Department of Justice is not shutting down what they've been doing, because we've seen indictment after indictment after indictment come out, especially over the past month. We saw James Comey a couple of weeks ago. We saw Letitia James recently, and now we have another indictment against John Bolton. If you don't know who John Bolton is, we're going to get into it here shortly. Amy posted this over on X. If y'all don't follow Amy, please make sure you do that for the latest and greatest news. Amy on X is at IAMYLEIGH. That's Amy Lee over on X. She says, breaking news, John Bolton pleads not guilty to all, get this, 18 counts against him. The DOJ is not playing around. 18 counts against him in classified documents case. What was John doing? Let's go ahead and check out Fox. Y'all know they're having a heyday with this. Let's see what they have to say about John Bolton and what he was getting into. This is crazy.
Former Trump advisor John Bolton surrendered this morning at the U.S. District Courthouse in Maryland. Bolton faces 18 federal counts in the classified documents case. David Spunt is live from Greenbelt, Maryland on this for us this morning. Hi, David.
Hi, Sandra. He surrendered about 45 minutes ago. I asked him if he had any comment. He put out a lengthy one last night. We'll get to part of that in just a minute, but he said nothing as we have this video of him walking in the courthouse just shortly after his attorney, Abby Lowell. Right now he's being processed. We're told that he will make an initial appearance at some point here in the next couple of hours here in Greenbelt, Maryland. He is facing 18 counts in this indictment after a grand jury met yesterday. The charges of not only keeping top secret info, but sharing it with family members. The DOJ says he sent diary-like entries about his workdays at the White House and shared information classified to the top secret SEI level, the most sensitive, shared them on messaging apps and personal email accounts with those family members. President Trump reacted in real time from the Oval Office yesterday to the indictment.
Y'all will know. So basically this man, John Bolton, was over there texting his family like, you'll never believe what Putin said about taking over Ukraine today. It was the craziest thing. I couldn't believe it. Guess what he said? This guy Putin over here again. He's like, he just said this in this classified document. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you want to know what's going on in the Middle East? I'll tell you over dinner. What is this guy doing? Come on, man.
I think he's a bad guy. Yeah, he's a bad guy. It's
Very
too
bad
bad,
guy.
but that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes.
We were there as FBI agents raided both the Maryland home of Bolton and the D.C. office at the end of August. His attorney, Abby Lowell, said many of these classified documents were cleared for use while he wrote his book. Bolton noted the prior DOJ did not charge him, though Fox is told he was investigated under the Biden DOJ. Bolton said in a statement of his former boss, Donald Trump, quote, "Now I have become the latest target in weaponizing the Justice Department to charge those he deems to be his enemies with charges that were declined before or distort the facts," end quote. And here's an interesting soundbite from Bolton in 2023 responding to a question about classified documents found in the possession of both then former President Trump and then President Biden. Watch this.
So President Biden was also investigating this. There's something went on there, and they decided now we're not going to pursue it anymore. I wonder why.
And it sets a bad example for the thousands of other people in the federal bureaucracy who have security clearances, because if the people at the top can be casual about it and then get away with it, that is not a good lesson to teach.
And Bolton now in court surrendering and will have his initial appearance. We'll follow it a little bit later this morning. Sandra?
All right, David, thank you very much.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian
Shout out to David. Let's see what was going on here. And we've got an article on it, of course, about what happened with John Bolton. Y'all want to know who he is? We'll give you some background here. John Bolton pleads not guilty to charges of sharing classified information. I mean, again, this seems like another indictment that should be pretty straightforward and easy to prove. We saw James Comey indictment. It was literally 2 paragraphs. It said James Comey lied. James Comey gave false statements. The end. Letitia James, barely 5 pages. It said Letitia James, she lied on her mortgage application. She defrauded the mortgage company. She defrauded the government. She defrauded her insurance company. Lock her up. Now here, we got this man, John Bolton, is the most robust indictment we've seen. All right. Is he guilty of sharing classified information? Seems pretty straightforward to me. We'll find out. The Bolton had no comment Friday when approached by Fox News. Former White House National Secretary Advisor John Bolton pleaded not guilty Friday to all 18 counts related to the improper handling of classified material after surrendering to the federal authorities in Maryland. U.S. Magistrate Judge Timothy Sullivan explained the charges to Bolton and asked if he understood them and the potential penalties for up to 10 years per count. Oh my goodness. This man's looking up, facing up to 180 years, which is crazy. And a maximum of a fine of $250,000, $250,000. I do, Your Honor, Bolton said during his arraignment at the federal courthouse this morning. He was indicted on 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Come on, John. From on or about April 9th of 2018 through at least on or about August 22nd of this year, Bolton abused his position as a national security advisor by sharing more than 1,000 pages of information about his day-to-day activities at the National Security Advisor, including information related to national defense, which was classified up to the top secret SCI level. That is no good. His security clearance finna be gone. With 2 unauthorized individuals, namely individuals 1 and 2, the indictment reads, Bolton also unlawfully retained documents, writing, and notes related to national defense, including information classified up to top secret /SCI level in his home in Montgomery County, Maryland. The documents Bolton allegedly transmitted were sent to 2 individuals unauthorized to view classified documents, the indictment said. Those documents, according to the indictment, revealed intelligence about future attacks by an adversarial group in another country, maybe Hamas, who knows, a liaison partner sharing sensitive information with the U.S., intelligence community, intelligence that a foreign adversary was planning a missile launch in the future, and a covert action in foreign country that was related to sensitive intergovernmental actions, among other information. This guy, the FBI investigation revealed that John Bolton allegedly transmitted top secret information using personal online accounts and retained said documents in his house in direct violation of federal law, said FBI Director Kash Patel. The case was based on meticulous work from the dedicated career professionals at the FBI. Oh, okay, Kash, we don't care. All right, geez. You saw a guy you wanted to go after and you got him. We get it. We don't need all the fluff that the FBI is amazing. Photographers snapped images of Bolton leaving his home in Bethesda, Maryland earlier on Friday. He was later captured on news cameras walking into the federal courthouse. When asked by Fox News at the scene if he had a comment, Bolton just walked into the building and didn't say a word. Bolton's Maryland home has been raided by FBI agents in August. The search was focused on classified documents that investigators believe Bolton possessed, and they found the evidence, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now, I have become the latest target in weaponizing the Justice Department to charge those he deems to be his enemies. Oh, poor John Bolton. Don't be texting people about classified information, John. It's a part of your job. This has nothing to do with the president. Anyway, John Bolton says, this is, again, the Justice Department's taking a chance or taking a charge to those he deems to be his enemies with charges that were declined before or distort the facts, Bolton said in a statement Friday to the Associated Press referencing President Donald Trump. And none of these people are saying I didn't do anything wrong. Not James Comey, not Letitia James, and not John Bolton. Did you do it or not, John? Did you do it or not, Letitia? Did you do it or not, James Comey? That's all we want to know. Still haven't heard that yet. Bolton's attorney, Abby Lowell, added in a statement to the Associated Press that the underlying facts in this case were investigated and resolved years ago. We'll see. Bolton kept diaries. This is not a crime, he said. Nothing that Bolton did not unlawfully share or store any information. We'll wait and see. This is a developing story. Lowell told the AP Associated Press that the charges Bolton faces are linked to portions of Bolton's personal diaries and included unclassified information that was shared with only immediate family members. Lowell also said this was known to the FBI back to at least 2021. So if he had permission to keep these documents, have these documents in his possession, he might be okay. We still believe innocent until proven guilty here. I want to know what you all think about this in the comments in the chat. Is this another one that was just doing what they thought they could get away with and they ended up getting caught? Or is there nothing here at all? Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Ooh, wait, John, what were you doing, man? Shout out to the gang here. We've got over 1,000 of you in the building. Guys, could you take a second and please like the video? Likes are free, and I beg for likes unashamedly. We're not done with John Bolton yet. I've got one more video or a couple more videos I want y'all to watch on this, but thank you to everybody who's in here. I see some of the gang. Shout out to all the members in the building. I see the Honorable Attorney Kel Bell. I see Slim Life in here. And also, I forgot to mention, if y'all didn't know, Amy is a content creator as well. She has her own YouTube channel. The link to her channel is in the description, and I'm sure she'll drop it in the chat for you as well. Make sure y'all go over there and support her. We were watching the premiere of a live video premiere she had earlier today. Absolutely insane. She has some crazy content and is doing very well. So y'all go show Amy some love. She also dropped a super chat. Shout out to Amy, gifted 5 memberships. The big dog J Money is in here too. Shout out to J Money. Thank you, Amy, for gifting those memberships. Appreciate the support. She really does it all, guys. A lot of the information you see on the show, Amy is helping produce this show, every single show we have. So she does so much for the community, so much for the show. And she stops in the chat and supports as well. So if you got a membership from Amy, make sure you say thank you. Take a second, check out the members only content. And you also get instant access to all the videos we drop here on the channel. So thank you again, Amy, for the support. You are the MVP for real. And she knows it. She knows she's an MVP. Shout out to Amy for all the hard work she puts in, man. Honorable Attorney Kel Bell is in here. Good to see you as always. All right, let's get to our next topic. So now that we know this guy, let me double check this. Hold on a second. So now that we know John Bolton is under fire and facing 18 counts of basically leaking or mishandling classified information, we're going to hear what's going on moving forward, what's going to happen to John, and if there's actually anything to this indictment at all. We believe innocent until proven guilty. Let's see what some of the experts have to say. We're not going to stay on one side. We're going to hear from both sides. So we'll hear from Fox and we'll also hear from CNN. So that way, maybe we can get more of a balanced idea of what's going on. Check this out.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton indicted on charges of mishandling classified information. Bolton responding to the allegations. saying, quote, "I've become the latest target in weaponizing the Justice Department to charge those he," meaning Donald Trump, "deems to be his enemies. I look forward to the fight to defend my lawful conduct and to expose his abuse of power." Former DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Jonathan, we got a couple things going on here. We have held documents and we have transmitted documents, meaning he took these allegedly inappropriately from the department or from where he was working, and then he disseminated it to people who shouldn't have it. Those include future attack intel, foreign intel sharing, adversaries' covert actions, sensitive human intel, and U.S. covert operations and assessments. How bad does this look for John Bolton?
This indictment looks far worse than I expected, because there was all this talk that the indictment was coming yesterday, particularly, like you said, the transmission part of it, because this is transmitting, he was transmitting classified documents on email to people that did not have clearances. I believe it was his wife and his daughter were the people receiving them over just a normal email. I think it was an AOL email. And the one thing that just shows how bad this was, his email got hacked by Iran, so we don't even know what Iran got or if anyone else got any of these things. So this is really bad. It shows how important it is to safeguard classified materials. And it's so ironic that John Bolton was out there front and center criticizing Donald Trump when the circumstances were so much different for Donald Trump, meaning so much worse for John Bolton, and he was doing this the whole time. And the other thing that I think is bad about it, the length of time that this was going on. It wasn't just like a one-off or something like that, or not that it would be excusable, but it would at least mitigate it. And then finally, this was all done to write a book. So he was old.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, we read earlier in the previous video, he started doing this in 2018, and he didn't stop. Or the allegations ended in August of this year, as recently as 8 weeks ago, which is crazy.
Ultimately going to profit or profited from retaining classified information, and also probably from sharing it, getting feedback on his book, presumably. So all of this looks really, really bad for him. And it seems hard for him to say this is political. It would almost seem political not to charge this if what's on the face of the indictment is even close to what the facts turn out to be.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the defense is, because you have a book that has the information. I mean, that is the worst damning piece of evidence against you, but we'll see how it all plays out in a court.
Wow. So he's writing a book and he put the classified information in his book. Guys, I don't know if there's much an argument here for our guy, John Bolton, but hey, innocent until proven guilty, I guess. I don't know.
Speaking of DOJ action, they brought their first terrorism charges against alleged members of Antifa for attacking that ICE facility in Texas back.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're going to hear from CNN now. That way we can get a little bit more of a balanced look, and then we can weigh what different experts are saying and maybe come up to a better unbiased conclusion. All right, check this out from
Breaking news
CNN.
this morning, moments ago, Trump's former national security advisor, John
Bolton,
arrived at a federal courthouse in Maryland. He is facing charges of mishandling classified documents. Bolton, now a vocal Trump critic, says the charges are politically motivated. But there are some key differences between Bolton's case and those against two other Trump critics indicted by the DOJ recently. CNN's Caitlin Polance is outside court. Give us some sense of what you saw this morning as John Bolton made his way to turn himself in.
Well, Sarah, he didn't say anything, not much at all, but John Bolton is here now at the federal courthouse. His lawyers are here, prosecutors are here. We're just waiting to see when a judge would take the bench for Bolton to have his initial appearance in federal court facing this indictment. The indictment, it's 26 pages long. And it is lengthy because there's so much detail about what John Bolton is accused of. 18 counts of transmitting or possessing classified information, national defense information that he shouldn't have had in an unsecured way after he was the national security advisor. Much of the detail in this indictment, Sarah, it is about what was happening in 2018 and 2019 when John Bolton was working in the Trump White House, taking notes of his day. He's a meticulous note taker. He's a very hard worker, someone who was here even at the courthouse almost before it opened this morning. And he's a person then who was recording his notes into Word documents, and then those Word documents he was sharing with, allegedly, two family members that he shouldn't have been sharing with on unsecured email accounts, and then also having them printed out and kept in his house, which he was not allowed to do after he was national security advisor as well. Some of the detail here is very likely to be read to him in court when he makes this initial appearance today, Sarah. He would potentially have the opportunity to plead not guilty at this time. He does say he wants to fight his charges. He's accused Donald Trump of weaponizing the Justice Department against him for a political outcome. But some of the detail here that he will be told, very likely by a judge, is that he's accused of telling these people in his family that he wanted his notes to be saved for, quote, a diary in the future. Sarah?
All right, Caitlin Polans there outside the court as John Bolton responds to charges. John?
All right, with us now, Tom Dupree, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, and Michael Moore, the former U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Georgia. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us. Presumably, you've each had a chance to look through the indictment. Tom, let me just start with you. What jumps out to you? How serious is the situation for Ambassador Bolton?
It's a serious situation. And what jumped out at me when I reviewed that indictment was how starkly it differed from the indictments we saw of Jim Comey and Tish James. Those indictments were short, they were skeletal, they were haiku-like. This is long and thorough, 26 pages, very detailed allegations. It's what prosecutors call a speaking indictment that really tells a story and goes into great detail and puts on public display the evidence that the government has gathered, much of which I think was actually picked up when they executed the search warrant at John Bolton's house. But the government has already put a lot of cards on the table, and the allegations, and at this point they are just allegations, do tell a fairly disturbing story about how Bolton allegedly mishandled classified information.
And if you read the indictment, it seems to suggest he knew there was something in the way he was handling it, at least allegedly. There's this point, Michael, let me read to you in the indictment where it says, on or about July 23rd, 2018, Bolton sent individuals 1 and 2 a 24-page document, described information that Bolton learned while National Security Advisor. Less than 3 hours later, Bolton sent individuals 1 and 2 a follow-up message that stated, none of which we talked about, 3 exclamation points. In response, individual 1 sent a message that stated,
come on, man.
So how does that say?
Less than 3 hours later, Bolton sent individuals 1 and 2 a follow-up message that stated, none of which we talk about. In response, individual 1 sent the message and stated, shh. This is national security. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Crazy.
State of mind, Michael, maybe knowledge that this needed to be kept quiet. How could that impact the case?
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be with you. Look, this is a serious indictment, and it just tells us how seriously we need to take the handling of national security information. But the bottom line is this is really a case about him writing a book. And what he would do, is, by all appearances, is he would take some notes while he was in meeting in his own hand. Those notes may include information which was discussed, which shouldn't have been discussed outside the meeting. He would then send those to family members who were helping him compile his manuscript or his notes to be submitted to an editor. This is not a case where he had a little secret camera and he was taking pictures of the warplane plans and all this and sending them to China or something. That's not what this case is. But it's serious nonetheless because he knows enough, having had the roles that he's had in the U.S. government, he knows enough about how to handle classified and sensitive information, and he didn't do that here. So, you know, there's a little bit of a follow-up tale, and that is that he did go through a declassification program or process when he put his book out. Yep. So the government had a chance to look into some information. So there may be some knowledge questions there. So it's not an open and shut case, but it does tell us that at least he knew, and he certainly signed acknowledgments when he got his security clearance, that he would know and protect this information from this type of dissemination for people who had not been given a security clearance. But there's more to the story, and it'll depend on whether or not Mr. Lowell, that is Mr. Bolton's lawyers, can convince either judges or a jury that the taking of notes for a diary is not a crime.
Abby Lowell, who has defended many high-profile clients over the last several years. And one defense he might use, Tom, is vindictive prosecution, trying to get this case thrown out altogether. Now, it's worth noting.
Now, vindictive prosecution, let's be real. And I said this in the chat to y'all. Did he do something wrong or not? I mean, did he transmit national defense information 8 different times? Did he retain national defense information improperly 10 different times? I mean, what are we going to do? So if somebody says something bad about you, you find out they did something wrong and you prosecute them. That's wrongful prosecution? I mean, if the claims are baseless, then maybe. But I don't know, 8 counts and 10 counts. Again, John Bolton's innocent until proven guilty. Let me know what y'all think.
These charges brought by career prosecutors, not the hasty, rushed prosecutions we've seen in the cases of Comey and Letitia James. But how much ammunition has President Trump himself given this argument from Abby Lowell just with his statements over the last several years and recently about John Bolton?
None.
Sure. Well, look, these vindictive prosecution claims are notoriously difficult to win if you're a defense lawyer. But I will say that President Trump, by specifically directing the prosecution of certain people, at least gives them some ammunition to make that argument. I think in this case, though, it would be particularly difficult for Bolton to win and to knock out this indictment based on vindictive prosecution for the reason you mentioned. This indictment, again, unlike the James and the Comey indictments, was signed by a team of 6 prosecutors. Many of these are career prosecutors, which really does go a long way toward erasing any taint that might arise from Trump specifically directing this prosecution or ordering this to be pursued. The fact that this was signed off on by career prosecutors who reviewed the evidence and said in their professional judgment this was sufficient to warrant charges will go a long way toward defeating any defense of vindictive prosecution.
Yeah, and I agree with that 1000%. If there's something there, we'll see it and it'll play out in court. If there's nothing there, then we say, okay, well, we find you not guilty. But I mean, 18 different counts. And this man was writing a book with allegedly with the classified information in there. Seems pretty straightforward to me. I want to know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Is it not looking good for John Bolton? Or do we just need to wait, see what happens? Let me know what y'all think. Thank you again to all 900 of you, 9,000 of you that are in the building. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank y'all for liking the video too. Yeah, and y'all are saying, we got a couple of super chats in here too. Shout out to Slim Life. Says, happy Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend all. Make someone smile today, but don't forget, you're someone too. ClassE and Amy, the MVPs, love y'all. Appreciate you, Slim Life. Amy is MVP. I'm just a guy up here pressing sound effect buttons and talking. All right, I don't be doing anything. KP says Bolton might be effed. Sheesh. He also says, I agree that POTUS appoints the director, but it's usually merit-based, or is it not? No. I mean, with all due respect to RFK, I mean, you see what position RFK holds. So no, it's not necessarily merit-based. It's based on who the president thinks is best fit for the job. Again, Kash Patel has been attacked by Jasmine Crockett for being underqualified or even not qualified for his current position as director of the FBI. So, I mean, you could argue that either way, but it's not. No, I wouldn't say it's merit-based at all. Before Trump, the people appointed were actual agents or intelligence officials. Not necessarily, not in every case. No. And I mean, we can go, if we want to do the tit for tat, we can go to the Biden administration, pick out people there. We can go to Obama's administration and pick out people there. It's just, we're talking about the system here. All right. You have a problem with the system. You want to mask it, and not you, KP, because I know you're objective. People want to mask it as a Trump issue. I don't think that's reasonable. I don't think that's objective. We're talking about the system here. It is somewhat crazy that the president is able to appoint the director of the FBI. But yeah. See, KP said Biden was sorry as F. Yeah. Shout out to KP for being objective, but I get what you're saying. The system needs to change. Trying to make sense of anything that happens under this presidency is like running your head into a brick wall. I mean, go back to any presidency. You know, we got one guy we're looking at saying, oh, please help us. It's weird. I say this all the time. These guys out here changing lives. Trump chose his friends and people that were loyal to him. Yep. The cabinet. Yep. Obama cabinet held members of both sides, though. So did Trump's. Yeah, you can look at several people who have prominent positions in Trump's cabinet that were on the other side, that he even ran against. Trump runs this country like someone who becomes a manager at a Burger King and hooks his homies up with a job. Y'all need to put some respect on some of these guys. All right. Good grief, man. They're not all that bad. This is crazy. Oh, y'all are hilarious, man. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. This was an interesting one. Another interesting one that Amy actually sent over. Let me see. We're going to pull up Judge Whitaker for this one and put her in here. Shout out to one of my favorite judges and probably my favorite judge here in Fulton County. Let's talk about this. So we have some breaking news when it comes to this entire FBI raid. against this gentleman, Cedric Dean. Now, if you don't know who Cedric Dean is, I'm going to get into that shortly. Shout out to Amy for posting this over on X. If you don't follow her on X, make sure you do at IAMYLEIGH at IAmyLee on X. All right. What does she have to say about Cedric Dean? She says, breaking news. The FBI has raided 3 properties owned by Charlotte's BLM activist Cedric Dean in connection with an alleged multi-million-dollar Medicaid fraud scheme. Oh, man. Investigators say Dean submitted inflated or false claims to Medicaid, sometimes using fake diagnoses, and even paid staff and recruiters through services like Cash App. Authorities claim his company billed around $1 million per month while lacking the staff needed to provide proper care. Federal officials have already seized Dean's bank accounts, vehicles, including luxury SUVs and RVs, and multiple properties in Charlotte and Shelby, which they say were bought with fraud proceeds. This is exactly the kind of corporation Americans are sick of, abusing taxpayer-funded programs while pretending to be an activist leader. Check this out. We'll give you more information.
We would have our day in court. And that's how proud I am. That's how I feel right now.
That is Charlotte community activist Cedric Dean during a 2022 interview with Queen City News about his lawsuit over city council redistricting. Tonight, Dean's the focus of a different legal case. FBI agents raided his home in an investigation into allegations of healthcare fraud. Thanks for joining us at 10 tonight. I'm Brian Blakely. We have federal court documents accusing Dean and his company of fraudulently billing Medicaid for mental health services never provided. But as of tonight, Dean's not facing any formal charges. Queen City News reporter Shakira Speaks shows us how the FBI went looking for evidence today.
Neighbors have been keeping an eye on this white home for weeks after noticing several different people in moving trucks constantly at the home. It belongs to a local community activist, Cedric Dean. And on Thursday, neighbors' suspicions were confirmed when they saw several FBI agents surrounding the property. How many people do you think lived in?
No idea. I've seen quite a few cars.
Neighbors on McChesney Road in Charlotte always wondered what was going on at this home.
There was always so many cars in the driveway. Yeah, so many cars in the driveway.
Thursday, they opened their doors to find federal agents raiding the house. County records show the home is owned by Cedric Dean, a local community activist and CEO of the HELP program.
We just are here to make sure that it's safe and that we're comfortable to live here and all of that. And when all those people were coming and going and the moving trucks were coming and going and bringing things and leaving, then we just kind of kept our eye on the house.
According to federal documents, investigators accused Dean and his company, Cedric Dean Holdings, of running a Medicaid fraud scheme that started last September. Documents obtained by Queen City News claimed Dean's group targeted vulnerable homeless people at shelters and other places. Dean allegedly offered small payments, offered free food, and even housing in exchange for their Medicaid numbers.
It was a little surprising to see the FBI and a lot of assault weapons.
Dean's business is accused of filing $14.5 million in fraudulent Medicaid claims from September 2024 to June 2025.
And so he was using these homeless people and say, hey, I'm going to take care of you, filing certain claims and then funneling it in through his business. Allegedly. Yikes. I mean, this is almost like the voter frauds issue. People who have passed away, people who've been dead for a long time, somehow are able to vote. How does that happen? It's almost the same thing. Like, hey, don't worry about it, man. We're going to get you taken care of. Just run me that Medicaid number. I got you. Now, was it actually Cedric that was doing this? We don't know. We still have more information we have to find out. The story is still absolutely insane.
Investigators say he received almost $9 million in payments. Now, the government is seizing money from 3 accounts, 5 cars, 2 houses in Charlotte, and 2 more in Shelby. Dang. But this isn't the first time Dean has been involved with law enforcement. His criminal record dates back to the 1980s, including a 2-decade federal prison sentence on a cocaine conviction. Dean's also accused of forcing his way into a woman's apartment last May, with police stating his past criminal charges of assault, armed robbery, and kidnapping.
We always gave him the benefit of the doubt when he moved in, thinking that he was helping people.
The investigation is still ongoing. For now, reporting in Charlotte, Shakira Speaks, Queen City News.
Queen City News Plus. Shout out to Miss Speaks, man. Somebody said she has a name that was built for being a news anchor. I 1000% agree. Here's some footage from the actual raid. We're going to follow this case and see what happens here, but this is absolutely amazing. Can y'all imagine if this was going on in your neighborhood? Jeez.
At the scene. So right now you see different agencies, and FBI is among these agencies that are out there. Just finished typing something, so bear with me.
Yes.
So, all right, here's what we have on our web article. Let me read what, as you look at this seen here at a home on Youngblood Road in the Palisades area. So the FBI, among agencies investigating home owned by Charlotte activist Cedric Dean. So this is what's on our website. This is what has changed within the last 30 minutes or so. So FBI, and this is according to city records and things.
Yesterday.
We've been doing digging, and we, meaning our team, have been doing some digging to figure out who owns his home, and we have learned home owned by Charlotte activist Cedric Dean. So here's what we have. So multiple law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, are investigating a Southwest Charlotte home owned by community activist Cedric Dean. That's according to officials, and they have confirmed that. WCNC Charlotte viewers shared multiple pictures of the scene along Youngblood Road on Thursday morning. Two CMPD cruisers blocked the road on both sides of the home, of that home in the area. Now, this is unfolding. This is near Hamilton Road, just off Highway 160 near the South Carolina state line. We have a map. Take a look at this is a map
exactly
of
where this
the
is
general
too.
area. The road has reopened. It reopened about an hour and a half ago. Now, investigators were leaving the scene when we got there, but an FBI spokesperson confirmed the agency was involved in the operation, saying federal agents were engaged in, quote, court-authorized investigative activity. Let me take you back out here on the scene. You see FBI, you see it right there on your screen, FBI right there by the door, and some people at the bottom of the steps. And again,
and I wonder what tipped them off. Was it one of the alleged homeless people or somebody who had dealt with these organizations that just complained? And then maybe the complaints started stacking up, say, hey, they told me I was going to get help. They told me I was going to get therapy. They told me I was going to be able to talk to somebody or receive this certain type of care, and they never got it. Or, I mean, what tipped them off? Was it the amount of money that was being funneled? Had this scheme been done before? I know many of y'all said in the chat that you had seen this type of scheme run before, which is, again, super wild. We're going to find out more information about
and we
this.
have confirmed that this home is owned by community activist Cedric Dean. And that's according to county records. You know, county records show the property is owned by Dean. So if you don't know, you may know. I just want to sort of give you insight who Cedric Dean is.
FBI agents.
He's the CEO of the Help Drug Recovery Program. So back in June, if we remember, here on Live Impact News, we broke this story. The organization left a North Charlotte hotel citing safety concerns for program participants, staff, and the surrounding community. So Dean made the announcement shortly after a woman and a young child were found dead at the hotel, which we brought you that as breaking news here on Live Impact News. So that, again, Cedric Dean, the community activist, the CEO of the Help Drug Recovery Program. And again, if you remember, he made the announcement back in June that the organization left the North Charlotte hotel citing safety concerns for program participants, staff, and the surrounding community. So Dean, again, made that announcement after a woman, I should say, and a young child were found dead at a hotel. So that's some background on who Cedric Dean is. But again, as you see, a live look here on the scene as the FBI is there, other law enforcement there. When we had the wider shot, we saw CMPD there on scene investigating. And earlier, that road was closed.
Mm-hmm. Now it looks like cars are passing like it's reopened.
Yes. So we have a couple of people. We all are following this story, obviously, but we have a reporter there following this investigation. Multiple crews. I mean, we have a photojournalist there. And I'm just going through,
I'll be interested to see what they find. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. What do you think's gonna happen? And have you seen this scheme before? This is the first I'm hearing of it. I've heard of medical insurance fraud and insurance fraud, but doing it this way to where you're saying people got help and they didn't get their help it's tough, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. And thank you again. I see a bunch of y'all have liked the video. We've got over 400 likes, so nearly half of you have liked the video. Guys, I do not ask for much on this show, but I do please beg you that you like the video, all right? Likes are free. I know y'all can do it. And we're going to keep moving into our next segment. Let me double check and see what y'all said. So was he robbing people or the system? Oh, I see. I misread the question, Star. I mean, technically, he was robbing people, but was he? I think he's more so robbing the system. Because if those people didn't actually need the care, then he wasn't robbing them of the care that they were trying to get, right? So basically, he took their Medicaid numbers and say, I'm filing this on behalf of John Doe because he needs a certain type of assistance. John Doe didn't actually need it, but then it was being charged to the government and his company was profiting from it. So really, that's not harming the people. So essentially he was stealing from the system. Hey, he got away with it for a while. Shout out to Cedric, but he messed around and found out for sure. It's crazy, man. All right, let me get Letitia James back up in here. I know y'all love these Letitia James topics. And we're moving right along. If y'all could, again, please, I'm going to keep begging. Like the video, all right? We need 800 likes. We are almost there. Where's Letitia at? Where is Miss James at? Oh, man. Things are getting rough. Things are continuing to get rough for Letitia James. And it's looking like she might actually get thrown under the bus by her own people. But before we get to that, we've got to talk about the recent news that came out with more people Letitia was letting use her residence that was mentioned in the indictment, and multiple residences. We're going to talk about someone else she was related to that was using one of her residents that's involved in this indictment. But before we do this, we got to check out what Letitia said shortly in a recent interview. Shout out to Graham Allen for posting this on X. Says, New York AG Letitia James went crazy on national TV over her grand jury indictment for bank fraud. She said that the President Trump is getting retribution for her legally targeting him. What is he doing? Remember when she ran on getting Trump? How could she say? I'm going to let y'all hear what she has to say. Man, this double standard is crazy to me. Check this out.
I would say what she said. But first of all, the decision was based on the Administrative Procedure Act, an arbitrary and capricious act by this agency, an unlawful act. And so too is the indictment. It's baseless. It's nothing more than retribution. Retribution for basically doing my job. For doing my job following a 2-year investigation and a congressional hearing. It wasn't political. It was based on facts and the application of the evidence.
Now. Stop the cap. We're not going to do that. She ran her whole platform, her whole campaign on getting President Trump. As we've seen, we've played the videos here. So to say it wasn't political, I'm going to call her out on that. But I will give her credit. She was doing her job. There were several times she won, and she won lawsuits against the president. So I will give her credit for that. But saying it's not political is just, come on. Come on, Letitia. We heard you already.
Retribution for basically doing my job. For doing my job following a 2-year investigation and a congressional hearing. It wasn't political. It was based on facts and the application of the evidence. And the judgment was sustained. The amount of the disgorgement was what was dismissed. But the judgment remains. And so at this point in time, we will vigorously defend those charges, those baseless charges. My arraignment, as you know, is next Friday. I visit Norfolk quite frequently. My family is in Norfolk. I love my family. And I will defend these charges. And I want everyone to know that it is completely baseless. And I am totally innocent. Thank you.
Thank you. Shout out to Letitia. She finally listened to me. Thank you. Thank you, Letitia. That's all we wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear. Tell me you're innocent. Tell me this is baseless. Tell me you don't know what the president's doing. I don't want to hear, oh, we're going to fight this. Oh, it's abuse of power. No, tell me you're innocent. She just got up here, guys, and she said that I am innocent. No matter who it is, we believe on this channel, innocent till proven guilty. She believes she's innocent. Now the DOJ, they have to prove that she's guilty. So we're going to be covering this moving forward. She talked about her family in Norfolk as well. Boston accent's coming out there. Shout out to the Commonwealth. But when it comes to more people that were staying at Letitia's house, allegedly, check this out. New York Attorney General Letitia James' family drama just keeps piling up, and her 21-year-old grandniece, another one, a adult model, was busted for lying about a felony record to buy a gun, and another niece is on the run. At this point, is anyone in that family not wanted? Life without you been feeling kind of strange. I'm not gonna play the music. But I'm not going to play this whole video. This is a video of the niece in question. A little bit of speculation that's interesting to y'all. Now, when it comes to Letitia and her camp, what's going on that side? We've got to hear some more information and check out this article from Fox News. When it comes to Letitia might not have anybody backing her up on this one. Even though she said she's innocent, I believe her. What did they say? Hochul's office silent when pressed if she sticks by no one is above the law belief amid the AG's indictment. New York governor previously said no one is above the law when Trump faced legal challenges. Well, they're not saying that now. Let's listen to this video.
Senior correspondent Eric Shawn has the story from our New York bureau.
Made it very clear that we have differences, but I also believe that he brings a sense of optimism and the can-do spirit, a positivity that I believe our city needs at this time.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul on the defensive, responding to critics after endorsing New York Democratic mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, even though she admits they're not always on the same page.
I do not agree with many of his views, but running a state government or a city government is very different. It's about making sure that the garbage gets picked up, the streets are safe.
Mamdani welcoming Hochul's support.
She called him a garbage man.
That when New Yorkers ask themselves, what are their leaders doing? They will know that the governor and the mayor are working hand in hand to fight for the people that call this great city home.
But President Trump posting, quote, Governor Kathy Hochul of New York has endorsed the little communist
That's how you say it.
Zohran Mamdani running for mayor of New York. This is a rather shocking development and a very bad one for New York City. Many moderate Democratic officials have also had doubts, refusing to back the 33-year-old Democratic socialist because of his views. Despite meeting with him, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries have yet to issue an endorsement. Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who may challenge Hochul next year, says the governor backed Mamdani to help her re-election bid.
Look at what she's just done. She has put jet fuel on Kami Mamdani, and she owns all of his heinous positions that will make New York less affordable and make New York more
Politics
dangerous.
is exhausting. I'm not going to lie.
Well, Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi, whose suburban Long Island district includes parts of New York City, announced this afternoon that he will not endorse Mamdani because of his socialist views. And as for reports that Mayor Eric Adams may drop out of the race, well, his campaign is denying that. Brett?
Eric, thank you.
Yeah, I highly doubt that's going to happen. So let's go on to read this article and see what went down. All right, check this out. New York Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul offered her support of the Empire State Attorney General Letitia James when she was first indicted on charges of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution following years of the New York governor celebrating legal challenges originating in her home state and elsewhere against President Donald Trump. And they indicted Diddy with that BS too. New Yorkers know the New York State AG James, or Letitia James, for her integrity, her independence, and her relentless fight for justice. Hochul posted on X following Letitia James' indictment. What we're seeing today is nothing less than a weaponization of the Justice Department to punish those who hold the powerful accountable. A grand jury in Virginia indicted James Thursday, months after the federal Housing Finance Director, Bill Pulte, said in a criminal referral to the Department of Justice in April that James allegedly falsified mortgage records to obtain more favorable loans. She faces charges of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution. Pulte alleged in his criminal referral that James purchased a home in Norfolk, Virginia in 2023, but identified it as her primary residence on the mortgage documents and a Fannie Mae Freddie Mac form. James is legally required to live in New York as a statewide elected official in the state. No one is above the law. The charges, as alleged in this case, represent international criminal acts and tremendous breaches of the public's trust. U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindsay Halligan, said when James was indicted, no one's above the law. I mean, you can't have it both ways. The facts and the law in this case are clear, and we will continue to follow them to ensure that justice is served. Hochul, as well as other prominent Democrats, have pointed to the indictment as alleged political weaponization and political prosecution of a Trump foe at the hands of the administration. James and Trump have long traded barbs, with James campaigning for the attorney general job in 2018 by vowing to pursue legal charges against Trump if she was elected. Her office ultimately filed nearly 100 legal charges or 100 legal challenges against the first Trump administration and vowed to continue the legal battles upon his reelection in November 2024. Well, I mean, what do you expect? Just for him to sit there? Trump accused Democrats of waging lawfare, which is understood as leveraging courts to gain political advantage, as a last-ditch attempt to prevent him from running for the Oval Office again in 2024 cycle and securing another federal election win. Trump, for example, was indicted and found guilty in New York that accused him of falsifying business records. He was found guilty. He was indicted for racketeering charges in Georgia. We know where that case is going. Faced federal criminal charges, claims he mishandled sensitive government documents after his first presidency, and another claiming he attempted to overturn the 2020 election results. I mean, it is wild out here. There are shots going back and forth. And as y'all can see here, the president has already been accused of certain things that other people are being accused of. It's a mess. Trump also faces civil cases, including Letitia James accusing Trump and the Trump Organization of inflating asset values in a lawsuit that found Trump and his companies were liable. Fox News Digital took a look back at Hochul's previous comments on Trump and the legal cases that plagued the president during his first administration through his interim as the 45th and 47th president, and found the governor frequently celebrated cases that conservatives identified as lawfare. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, they're maybe not feeling as confident in that. All right. And then again, we have New York Attorney General Letitia James denies the federal charges and vows to defend herself. We already saw that video here. I'm not going to play it for y'all again. She's just saying, I'm innocent. Do y'all believe Letitia James is innocent? I do. I think they've got a lot to prove when it comes to this. And even looking at it from a legal aspect, it might be tough for them to prove her intent here. We're going to have to see it play out from the legal side. Is it going to make it all the way down to the courts? We'll have to wait and see. I want to know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. Shout out to the gang again. So many of y'all showing love, man. Look at that. Look at y'all over there with the 500 likes. I see y'all. Make sure y'all keep liking the video. We still got a lot more to get into. Letitia James, man, what does she have going on? Innocent until proven guilty. I'm gonna keep preaching it here no matter who it is, but wow. Eric Adams is still in the race. Is he? I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. She was doing the same thing she accused Trump of doing. They were talking about this on the town hall. All politicians are liars. I mean, it's got to be at least a 98, 99% clip. It's got to be yeah, I might be with you on that one. I turn on CNN every time I can't go to sleep. Best way to get sleepy. That's fair. That's fair. Dems are just as corrupt as Republicans. The corruption is side-wide. There's corruption on both sides. I 1000% agree. And they're all great at manipulating and using the systems in certain ways. The same every woman named Letitia's got going on. Shout out to Letitia James. Okay, I won't play any more music. I'm not going to play any more BS because I don't want them to get me anywhere. They're trying to get me with this copyright stuff. I ain't going to let them though. Let me see. We've got, this is going to be a fun one. Y'all are going to love this. We're going to talk about Tyler Perry. And I had like 3 different Tyler Perry segments I want to do. We might get to a couple of them, but I definitely got to do this first Tyler Perry one. So let me take Letitia James down here. Although when Tyler Perry is dressed up as Medea, he kind of looks like Letitia. That's probably a racist thing to say though. Can I say that? Let's get, I do not have a picture of Tyler Perry up here, which I thought I should have. So let's get Judge Whitaker in the building. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this Tyler Perry lawsuit. I've been waiting on this one because I wanted to see how it's played out. If y'all haven't heard about this lawsuit, you are in for a treat. All right. So let's get into what's going on with this Tyler Perry lawsuit. Some of you may know Tyler Perry is being sued for not $1 million, not $100 million, but near $300 million, close to it, for someone whose claim he was assaulted by him, SA'd as we say here, and we're going to get into the details. Now, Tyler Perry has responded. We're going to cover that in another video, but I want y'all to first give an overview of what this lawsuit is saying, what's being alleged. I want you guys to let me know if you think this is worth $300 million. Check this out from NBC News.
Actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon. Dixon was in 2 of Tyler Perry's shows, The Oval and Ruthless. In a statement to NBC News, Perry's team says this appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, calling the allegations fabricated claims. Let's bring in NBC's Stephen Romo, who's following this. Stephen, what more do we know about the allegations here?
Yeah, Tom, just going through those allegations in this lawsuit seeking $260 million in damages, alleging sexual harassment, assault, retaliation as well. The direct details include inappropriate touching. As you mentioned, Dixon starred in The Oval with Tyler Perry, and he released, we got this statement from inside the complaint. Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, and sexually assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. So you can read from that, implies there are more people who are alleging this than just Dixon. We have a bit of a timeline here for the relationship that we know, the professional relationship between these two men and the allegations made in this complaint, saying that they met in 2019. The lawsuit alleges that then their relationship moved forward with this professional advancement. And in 2019, Perry offering Dixon a small role in Ruthless. And then in January 2020, that is when Dixon accuses Perry of sexually assaulting him in his home. And then the following month, Dixon alleges that Perry offered him a series regular role in The Oval. Now, we do have comment from Tyler Perry's attorneys saying that this individual appears to have been setting Tyler Perry up. They say that they are alleging that this is a scam and saying, quote, Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Now, we've also reached out to the attorney for Dixon, and he said that these allegations in the lawsuit stand for themselves. So just the very beginning of this process, but a lot of people are paying attention to this. Tyler Perry, quite successful, quite a bit of fame here, Tom.
Yeah, it will get a lot of attention. Stephen Romo, thank you.
We thank you for watching,
right,
and remember.
So shout out to Stephen for the reporting there. Y'all know we like the receipts here on this channel, and we're going to go ahead and get into the receipts. All right, so let me pull this up and see if I could find it. We got Tyler Perry here, and we've got the official lawsuit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this complaint, not the whole thing because it's 46 pages long. But the summary of action should give you guys an idea and actually show some receipts of what Mr. Dixon is alleging went down. All right. Ironic last name, but I won't go there. It's a family show. The plaintiff, Derek Dixon, files his complaint against the defendant, Tyler Perry, aka Emmett Perry Jr., and of course the companies. The following complaint is pled on information and belief. The case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace harassment of a certain type, assault and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against the plaintiff, Derek Dixon, a professional actor and screenwriter. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, exploitive, in a certain manner, dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him, we're going to call him Derek, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating certain types of harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation when Derek did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Derek was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, back in 2022, I believe. And while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. Hey, for those of y'all who've been following the channel for a while and just news in general, after seeing what happened with Diddy, after seeing what's going on with Tyler Perry, with multiple others we've seen, are y'all still gonna be messing with your coworkers? If you're a boss, if you're a manager or something, is it really worth it? I mean, come on, man. You had this guy at your house. I'm like, let's go to work. Let's be done. And y'all leave me alone. This happens so often. It's crazy. People, you think they would learn by now. Tyler Perry rose against all odds to become one of the powerful figures in the entertainment industry. His success story, once a symbol of perseverance and self-made achievement, has now become a cautionary tale of how unchecked power, wealth, and influence can corrupt those who attain it. Among other contracts, Perry received a lucrative multi-year partnership with the Oprah Winfrey Network. I can read, I swear. And his net worth tops $1.3 billion. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's rise to fame and fortune elevated him from a powerless victim of a powerless victim to a figure of tremendous wealth, influence, and power, accumulating in the ownership of his own film studio right here in Atlanta. Rather than using his influence responsibly, Tyler Perry has engaged in a pattern of misconduct where he exploited his position of power. Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to, I'm not going to say that word, abuse and assault in a certain sexual manner impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. Just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean Diddy Combs, I haven't read this yet, so there they go mentioning Sean Diddy Combs, and Kevin Spacey, Roger, oh my gosh, all these people and many others in the industry. Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. I mean, it can in some ways. That belief slowly transformed into a false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. There are things in life that money cannot buy. And I guess, never mind, this is a family show, so I'm not going to make that joke. Mr. Perry sought the one thing that wealth and influence could not purchase, a relationship, an intimate relationship with the man who would remain silent. Perry told Derek that his ideal relationship would involve a male partner who he could provide for and who would be loyal but emotionally detached. What? Perry told Derek, whoever ends up with me is going to be a happy MFer. In essence, Mr. Perry desired a one-sided coercive dynamic with a subordinate and arrangement devoid of mutual consent or emotional reciprocity. Thus began Perry's calculated pursuit of Derek. This was not Mr. Perry's first instance of exploitation. He has demonstrated a troubling pattern of exploiting vulnerable male actors and employees, leveraging his industry power to create a cycle of hope and dependency. First, he offers aspiring actors the prospect of career-defining opportunities, roles that promise visibility and advancement. Then, once they are in his professional orbit, he uses the weight of his influence to ensnare them, positioning their success as contingent on meeting his demands in a quid pro quo intimate compromise. The pattern of behavior reveals a calculated use of professional power for intimate leverage. I almost said it. Using his influence, Perry provided vulnerable men with acting positions, roles, show contracts, cars, and money. Once the object of his desire was hooked, Tyler Perry would then put them in fear of losing it all unless they engaged in Mr. Perry's perverted desire for intimate gratification. Mr. Perry would easily, quote unquote, kill off a character in the show of an actor who failed to indulge Perry's fantasies. We've got the receipts here. In one such exchange, Perry stated that he could fix things because the actors of a show he was filming should all be scared because they were all shot at, and we don't know who lives, meaning that Tyler Perry was going to use this as a tool to gain compliance with his desires. What does the text say? It says, but I swear to you, I know how to fix it. I know how to fix this ish. I love killing an MFer in the show that no one expects. You could be sipping Mai Tais, counting coconuts right now. This person says, think about the last episode. They are all shot at. We don't know who lives. And this person says, exactly. I'm scared. They should be too. Nope, they're not. Last I checked, this person says, we all got the same bullets in us. Interesting. Derek was Mr. Perry's desire ever since they became acquainted. Derek was working as a part of the event staff for a party hosted by Mr. Perry. When Mr. Perry noticed him, Perry immediately offered Derek the chance to audition for a part in one of his TV productions. Derek agreed and was on set with Perry behind the camera for weeks in close quarters. During the time they were filming, Perry would send flirtatious text messages to Derek. For example, in one message, Perry stated that he was jealous when he saw Derek going on walks with another man named Brad. Tyler Perry says, why did that photo make me jealous? You two earlier. And Derek says, haha, I don't know. It's just Brad. Tyler Perry says, laugh out loud. Derek says he just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself. And he says, thick Derek, get that Chipotle. Hey, yo. In another text message, Perry stated to Derek, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless intercourse? Have y'all found that yet in therapy? What? You can have something, have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ. The plaintiff carefully navigated a friendly demeanor to prevent the loss of income and opportunity on the one hand, and on the other, a firm boundary against Perry's advances. Often, when Mr. Perry started drinking, he would demand more attention from the plaintiff and get more aggressive with his flirting. He said, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless intercourse? Have y'all found that yet in therapy? Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, Geo Metro. Derek says, giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, that's so cool. Where you came from? And Tyler Perry allegedly says, unfortunately, Derek, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's so sad. You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ. Okay. On one occasion, when Mr. Perry was drinking, he started to become extremely annoyed when Mr. Dixon avoided him, or Derek, I was going to say Derek, avoided him. Mr. Perry stated that of the 600 people in his phone book, he only wanted to talk to Derek. Treat myself right. What are you doing? Derek, he says, I'm just talking to my sister. Tyler Perry rolls his eyes. Fine. Good night. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book. He sounds like a 12-year-old. And be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them. Trying to get off so I can go to sleep. I understand. Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Apparently you're not the only one that's been drinking tonight. I just started. And he says they didn't laugh out loud. Derek did his best to tiptoe around Mr. Perry's intimate aggression, while keeping Mr. Perry on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Derek that if Derek ignored Perry or failed to engage with his innuendos, Derek's character would die in the next season. Indeed, Derek's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest at the end of the first season on the Oval, and Perry always held it over Derek's head, implying that Dale would survive if Derek kept Perry happy. Once Perry recognized the extent of control he had over Derek, he escalated this behavior. On multiple occasions, Tyler Perry assaulted in a sexual way Mr. Derek, including one instance where he forcibly pulled off Derek's clothing, grabbed his butt, and attempted to force himself on Derek. Derek told a drunken Perry no and attempted to remove Tyler Perry's hands, but Tyler Perry held tightly onto Derek's wrist. Derek was only able to escape after de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. The day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Derek relentlessly saying, tried you, call me. And he said, I really need to talk to you. Please call as soon as you can. Finally, when Derek answered Tyler Perry's call, Tyler Perry profusely apologized for the assault while blaming it on other things. Perry continued, he didn't know why he would do that. Maybe he was self-sabotaging. On the very same call where he apologized for the assault against Derek, Perry told Derek, and don't worry, we're going to do your show, referring to the pilot that Perry knew Derek was desperately wanted to produce. Shortly thereafter, Derek got a call from Perry's lawyer saying that Christmas had come early and Derek was getting a substantial raise and the show was greenlit. Perry's attorney explicitly warned Dixon not to tell any other actor on the show about Derek's raise because no other actors were getting a raise, only Dixon. Should we go on? Perry kept telling Derek that he was sorry and that the harassment would not happen again. However, the harassment and the assaults continued. All right, give me 1 second. We're going to keep going here. The harassment and assaults continued. Mr. Perry would also try to deflect the blame for the assault by saying Derek didn't have a strong enough no. It says, nice. Santa Monica is nice. I'm glad you're going out there. How is your no? How is your no? Is it stronger? You got to have a strong no. Derek says, yes, it is strong. My mom literally thinks I'm going to sell my soul to the Illuminati. She heard Kanye say that it's real. Well, I don't think that, but I do think that you have been able to say no. And I mean it and make it clear. Derek says, I only say yes if it gets me an Oscar. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I hear you. Tyler Perry says, well, the only one who could have gotten that for you through intercourse is in prison. So just stick to the no unless you're really into him. Hey, yo. All right. I think we're good on that. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. I might have to review the rest of this later. These accusations are wild. Derek's got the receipts. We're almost done. I won't go through the party. So let me just finish reading this. So Perry told Dixon, you have the ability to say no for propositioned intercourse and mean it. Dixon did not know how to answer without facing retaliation, canceling of his production contract, or perhaps being killed off the show. So instead, Derek made a joke out of the situation, saying what we read there. In response, Tyler Perry said what he read there. Perry reveals through these text messages that no he was referring to was on Derek's no to exchange intercourse for a promotion in the industry, classically known as a quid pro quo harassment. Perry sent this message to Derek because this is exactly what Tyler Perry was doing. At some point, Derek left Atlanta and moved to Santa Monica to create distance from Tyler Perry. However, even at long distances, Mr. Perry continued to harass Mr. Derek D. I don't know. It's words. I don't know what to say. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Wild story. Tyler Perry innocent until proven guilty on this one. The burden of proof is lesser in the civil lawsuit. From what you've seen and the few receipts y'all seen, I want you to tell me in the comments, what do you think is going to happen to Tyler Perry in this? Tyler Perry's come out and denied it. Say, no, it's not that big of a deal. I want to know what y'all think. Wow. Thank y'all for being in here. Tyler Perry is wilding out. Jeez. This was probably a good time to take a break because I had another segment we were gonna get to with Tyler Perry. We're gonna have to take a break from this one. Shout out to the gang in here. Thank you to everybody who liked the video. Over 1,100 of y'all liked the video. Thank you. I appreciate it. It really does help out a lot, and it's free. So we'll hear some more Tyler Perry tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who sent in the super chats. I see a bunch of y'all sending some more super chats too. Shout out to Amy for dropping the cake, reminding me that it's well past lunchtime and it's well past cake time. So we need to take care of that soon. Thank you, Amy, for the support and everything that you do. Shout out to Slim Life, and give it up to my awesome, amazing Amy as well for the mustache super sticker. You're gonna have to explain that one. Shout out to Amy. We're gonna be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure y'all tune in for that. We will be posting about it here shortly. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that we go live or drop a new video. All right, like the video on your way out. Y'all know we'll be dropping clips throughout the weekend, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you don't tune into the show tonight, you know what to do as always. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We getting out of here. We gone. Peace. I need to read some of the comments next time too. Shout out to